3 former pros, 1 epic show. Welcome to the GCN Show.
Welcome to the GCN Show.
Coming up, our cyclists finally getting the recognition they deserve, and we've got an exclusive competition with the London 6 Day.
Yeah, also crashes at the World Championships over in Richmond. A 44-year-old wins a pro race, plus our usual features, comment, tweet and caption of the week. What's up with your arm?
Oh, this 6-time Olympic champion gave it quite a nasty tug the other day. Sorry mate.
It's all right.
Okay. Hold up. Hold up.
Right, we're going to start off with this, a feel-good story which caught our attention last week coming out of Denver in Colorado, because the governor there, a certain John Hickenlooper, announced that the state will be spending a total of $100 million over the next 4 years to try and make it the best state in the US for cycling.
That is good news, but $10 million of that money is going to be spent on the state's Safe Route to School program.
Routes?
Yeah, routes. Which is great news for kids and parents alike, and hopefully will inspire a new generation of cyclists.
Yeah, now I think it's fair to say that cities such as Boulder within Colorado are already well known for being very cycling friendly. However, this extra investment is certainly going to accentuate that fact. Great news for any cyclist already there, or indeed any cyclist looking to go and visit.
Yeah, there are a few other cities in the world, such as London, that have got new sort of super highways to encourage and make it safer for commuters to get safely into the centre of the cities. And is that really showing a bit of a change of mentality in relation to moving away perhaps from cars / automobiles and onto cycling?
Well, quite possibly. It certainly seems like a few very big steps in the right direction. But what we want to know is, what is your local authority doing to help cycling? And even if they're not doing anything, what would you choose to do if the option was up to you? As ever, you can leave your comments in the section just below this video.
Competition time! The 6-day season is rapidly approaching, and we're getting very excited because for the first time in 35 years, there's going to be a 6-day in the UK at the Olympic Velodrome in London. And we have got 6 pairs of tickets to give away.
Yes, now unfortunately though, you do have to make your own way to London, which we know is going to be far easier for some of you than it is for others. But if you can't get there and you win, don't worry, because we've also got some swag, merchandise, stuff, whatever you want to call it, from the London 6 Day, and it's signed by none other than Sir Chris Hoy, an Olympic legend. 6 gold medals he got on the Olympics in his career.
Didn't stop him from hurting my arm though.
No, as I said, legend.
Anyway, to enter the competition, click the link below this video and you enter via the app or on our Facebook page as well.
It's time now for our caption competition, and you'll probably remember last week's photo because it was this rather frightening one of Matt and Si staring down the barrel of a lens. Now, we have plenty of entries, but the winner this week is Patrick Bisogno. Now, he said, caption, just bought a new aero nose from Cask yesterday. Very well done to you, Patrick. Send us your details via email, on a YouTube message or on a Facebook message, and we shall get some GCN swag off to you in the post.
That was a good comment. But this week's is a picture of the successful BMC team squad on the podium at Richmond. Daniel Oss with the shaggy hair, and on the right, Manuel Cinziato. Me and Dan did try and come up with a comment in relation to kind of a pet caterpillar, but it didn't really work.
We had some good ones, but not up to our usual high standards. So we're going to leave it to you lot this week to get us started. So as per usual, leave your captions in the comments section just down below this video. And next week we'll pick a winner and you'll get some swag.
We will indeed. Time now for comment of the week. Cracker here from Chad Heath. Underneath the news show, Ben Foster can take all the drugs he wants as long as he stays away from my Strava segments.
Well, I chose this one that came in from Tricky Name. That is actually his name, it's not that I couldn't pronounce his real name. And it was underneath the video, are wheels the best upgrade you can make to your bike? Now he said, after years of working in a bike shop, I believe that the best upgrade, be it components or bike, is the one that makes you want to ride your bike more. The power of shiny new kit to get you out of the door and turning the pedals shouldn't be underestimated, and is the reason to have N+1 bikes. Great show, by the way, he adds at the end. And I think that's completely true.
It is.
The best upgrade is the one that makes you want to go out on the bike more than you do now.
Definitely.
Gets you out the door.
I'm glad you read that. The font was way too small for me, so cheers for that, Dan.
Yeah, I thought I'd take that one. Right, loads of cycling shorts this week, so we better get cracking. We're going to start with the one that we mentioned in the introduction. So a 44-year-old has managed to win a pro race. Not Matt, but somebody that he raced against at the World Championships back in 1991, a rider that very much polarised his opinion, Davide Rebellin. Now he managed to get the better of some pretty big name riders, so Vincenzo Nibali, he was in second place, and Nicola Bonifacio of Lamprey Merida was in third. And incredibly, Rebellin actually turned pro before Bonifacio was even born.
Yeah, Bonifacio was born in 1993. Rebellin turned pro in the summer of the Summer Olympics, 1992.
Ridiculous.
I know. Well, even before the team time trial, the opening event of the World Championships had started, 2 teams hit the deck whilst out training on a recon of the course, seriously denting their chances of medal hopes. First off, it was the US women team's Optum Pro Cycling, the women's squad. 6 of them riding around the circuit, 5 of them hit the deck, Annie Ewart actually breaking her collarbone. Meanwhile, Team Sky also hit the deck, touch of wheels apparently. Danny Pate went down, Elia Viviani, and also Luke Rowe. That definitely dented any hopes they had of getting a medal.
Yeah, it didn't end there either, because Tinkoff Saxo also crashed. The difference with them being that they did it in the actual event itself. So young Michael Volgren of Denmark touched wheels with the rider in front, so he came down. He also took Mick Rogers down with him. They both lost a lot of skin. Again, it was at 60 kilometres per hour. Mick Rogers tweeted this afterwards, looks pretty nasty, and said, make sure you always wear gloves while cycling.
Top tip from Mick there. Anyway, meanwhile, 2011 World Road Champion Mont Cavendish will not be trying again for another set of rainbow bands. The injury he sustained while sitting a car door in the Tour of Britain is a little bit more serious than originally thought. Now, Great Britain are thinking of bringing Adam Blythe, we know, is heading across to Tinkoff Saxo next year, but the time we're going to press, or the time we're going to film, the Great Britain team yet to finalise their road squad.
Now, one team that actually does look like they're going to be on fantastic form over in Richmond this coming Sunday are the Italian men's squad, because Vincenzo Nibali, Diego Ulissi and Daniele Bonatti all won one-day races in Italy last week. Now that squad has yet to be finalised as well, but it certainly looks like they're going to have some strength in depth there. Oh, and also the French hopeful Nasser Bouhanni, he managed to win the Grand Prix Yves d'Aigle.
Boxing clever. A quick bit of a transfer roundup now, Dan. Cannondale Garmin have been very busy over the last couple of weeks, so with Matty Breschel moving across from Tinkoff Saxo for 2016, and also Lawson Craddock from John Alpe making the trip across to the Argyle Clad squad. Another move heading across to United Healthcare is US champion from Trek, Matthew Boucher.
Oh, and one rider who's going to make his return to the World Tour is the Australian Jack Bobridge. He's actually going to Trek Factory Racing, despite the fact that its main aims for 2016 seem to centre around the Rio Olympics.
Those two squads have been very, very busy.
Yeah, well, we're going to finish cycling shorts this week with a slightly different story. Some of you might remember the Marco Polo cycling team. Now, they've been absent from the sport for a couple of years now, but they are going to try and return in 2016 with a team with a difference, because it's going to be entirely made up of cyclists who've come over to Europe as refugees.
Yeah, it's a completely new concept. The team aren't going to be continental regs. They're going to be an amateur squad with quite an interesting race programme, primarily centred around sort of Asia, but most riders in the team are actually going to be Eritrean. But more importantly, to be a member of that particular squad, you have to be officially registered as a refugee to get a work permit to work in Western Europe.
Yeah, now they're going to spend October trying to raise money for the team through a crowdfunding project. And I, for one, am going to be very interested to see how they get on in 2016. I think that's a really cool idea.
Same here, watching closely.
The World Championships kicked off in Richmond on Sunday with the men's and women's elite team time trial championships. And actually, on the women's side, there still has only been one winner since the UCI reintroduced this event 4 years ago. So, Velocio SRAM made it 4 in a row. However, they were pushed pretty close this year, just 6 seconds back with the Bulls-Dulman's women's team. And then in third place, just under a minute back, with the Rabo Liv squad.
Yeah, meanwhile, in the men's event, which incidentally was run over the same distance as the women's, quite a short team time trial, I think it's the shortest ever, 38.8 kilometres, was no surprise, or they were run close. It was the American squad of BMC, took their second consecutive title. Now the squad, Kung, Dennis, Finney, Oss and Dillier, averaged 55.275 kilometres an hour, just edging out, I say just edging out, 12 seconds they'd beat a very disappointed Ethics Quick Step by. With Movistar, the Spanish squad, a further 19 seconds back. And apparently Alex Dowsett in particular for the Movistar team was going pretty well. And we know Rowan Dennis was absolutely on fire.
Yeah, I've got money on Rowan Dennis for the individual time trial coming up this week. But it's going to be a really tight run affair because Tony Martin's there, he's looking pretty good as well. We've also got Tom Dumoulin, fresh out of the Vuelta. He was the strongest for Giant Alpecin. Plus all those outsiders, like you mentioned, Alex Dowsett, his teammate Adriano Mallory. It's going to be one of the...
Stefan Kuhn, King Kuhn.
He's looking good as well. It's going to be a really cracking race.
I think he'll be the closest for a few years for the men's elite.
Well, I think you all know what this particular look means. It is time.
GCN Epic Rides.
Take it away, Matt.
Thanks, Dan.
Oh God, going for the hood as well.
It's a new look this week, mate. No expense spares in the production of Epic Rides, of course. At SMS Cyclist. 30 Bladen cycling riders. 137 miles. 13,000 feet. 8 hours. Whitehaven to Teignmouth. Hashtag GCN Epic Rides.
Let's take a few minutes to tune your barrel adjuster.
Yeah, thanks for that, Matt, I think.
Cheers, mate.
If you would like to appear on next week's GCN show, just use the hashtag GCN Epic Rides on social media. We shall find it. In tech news this week, we're talking about chain efficiency. Probably not a subject we've really delved into at all before, but it is real. So for example, a top pro rider, when they're going flat out, can potentially lose about 10 watts if they're using an old worn out stretch chain versus a brand new one. Other things that can make a difference to chain efficiency include the type of lube that you're using and also chain line. So that's, for example, why Tony Martin uses a 58 tooth chainring. And one company that knows this very well indeed are Muc-Off.
Yeah, Muc-Off have actually delved very, very deeply into this particular subject and have actually developed a machine called the Chain Lube Efficiency Dynamometer, which they've used in the past when developing lubes with Team Sky.
Yeah, so they made the hydrodynamic lube with that team, and they've now taken things one step further. So they've developed a 3D printed replica of Team Sky's Pinarello Bolide TT bike. They've mounted a Di2 group set on it, and they've taken a load of data from the team's Di2 group sets out at the races this year. And what that is going to allow them to do is assess if there can be power savings by using different types of lubrication. They've already done that, but now the chain line, the types of load, the cadence that the riders are using, and also the gear ratio as well. So that should provide Team Sky with yet another marginal gain.
Or a marginal lube. Dom's tweet of the week this week is actually a tweet conversation or a tweet-sation between Geraint Thomas and his teammate Chris Froome. The last tweet being this from Geraint: at Chris Froome, my dog would have your cat, with a little emoticon of a monkey hiding his eyes.
How does he know that? I think that should be put to the test.
Fight!
Anyway, Dom's also chosen an Instagram of the week this week. It comes from George Hincapie, and he says, "Oh snap, Christian van der Velde working the mohawk back in the day." And that, I have to say, is an incredible bit of hairstyling.
It's definitely incredible hairstyle, damn it. No way is that Christian van der Velde. That's definitely one of the Jedward twins.
Looks like it.
On the channel this week, now first up, we've actually got a little bit of a freebie for you because we headed over to the London Velodrome ahead of the London 6 Day to film at Madison. Now, on Wednesday, we have how to update live segments on your Garmin Edge head unit. A segment isn't something we'd normally associate with cycling a few years ago, most likely oranges, in fact. But now, they're the talk of the town, as you compare yourselves to friends, foes, pros, but most likely yourself.
Yeah, now if you didn't know, a segment is basically a specific section of road or trail that's been highlighted using online software like Garmin Connect or Strava.
Thursday is the top 10 World Championship facts to impress your mates with.
Yeah, and then on Friday we tell you how to choose your helmet. So we speak to Team Sky's Geraint Thomas about why he would have a different helmet for different races throughout the year.
The old school one, plenty of ventilation, and it's one I probably use most in training, in Monaco area anyway. I wouldn't really choose to wear this at home in Cardiff when I'm training in like November, December time. So
The Bretoni's a slightly newer model, isn't it?
yeah, this is the latest version now. It's a lot more aero than the Mojito, and also it's got plenty of vents in the front as well, which supposedly helps keep you cool. So
And Saturday, we take a closer look at Chris Froome's Pinarello Bolide time trial bike, the one he was supposed to be using at the recent Vuelta a España. Sunday is off the back. Monday, we show you how to glue on your cyclocross tubular tyres.
Now, rolled tubular tyres is quite a common occurrence in cyclocross, and that's because of the bigger volume of the tyre increases leverage against the rim, and also the lower pressures that we use mean that the tyre itself won't be holding itself on.
And Tuesday,
Hello and welcome to the GCN Show.
it's time for Extreme Corner. Check out this footage of us showcasing our track skills at the London Velodrome. Yeah, sorry, it's the track one. We chose that one.
Sorry, mate. It's all right. Okay, I'll just follow you to get the speed up. Yeah. Chris, hold up. Hold up.
I mean, it's all right. I thought we were going to use my jumping one that we did with our sister channel GNB.
Hold on a minute. Yeah, we can put it in. We've got time to put it in. Just anyway, here's Dan doing some jumps.
Jumping.
Dan, that's really cool. You're nailing it every time.
I know.
How impressive was that?
It was actually pretty impressive. You got some
I
pretty
can't
air,
believe I
didn't
did
you?
it.
Well, I tell you, if you want to watch the
big air.
full-length video of you jumping, of how to jump,
Well, they will do.
it is impressive. Click just up here.
Yeah, on the other hand, if you would like to see our Madison race at the Olympic Velodrome in London, you can find that video by clicking just down there.
Yeah, and subscribe to GCN. He's not made much of an appearance on the show recently, but as it was a bit cool in the studio, how about clicking on my hood? Look like a Jedi, don't I? That was just weird.